Welcome back to the stream, everybody, and it is our NBA championship in Detroit. No, we're not playing basketball, but we are playing the lottery. Today is going to be the draft lottery, and we look to see where we fall amongst the top picks of the 2022 NBA draft. But before we get started and take a look at the draft lottery, I do want to kind of recap the end of the season for our team and see what we're looking like, because before we start drafting players, it would help to know what did we excel at and what are we really, really bad at. So if I take a look over at the league leaders, I want to change this to teams because we are not a very, none of our players are super impressive, so I don't really care where we fall in the top of the player statistics. But when we cycle our teams by points, we averaged the fourth fewest points in the entire league at 99.1. This is a league that routinely sees scores in the hundreds. This meant on an average night we were falling short. And on top of that, our field goal percentage was dead worst in the entire league. When it comes to making three-pointers, we were about midway of the pack. Well, we hit 11.8, but what was our percentage like? Pretty poor as well. But I think with the introduction of Anthony Simons to the team, as well as Sadiq Bey finding a little bit more space to shoot, I think our three-point shooting is going to come around a little bit. We're also working on Cade Cunningham to shoot a few more threes, as he's a 40% shooter this year, which was great to see. I don't really care too much about free throw percentage because that's kind of an individual thing, but free throw attempts per game, we were pretty middle of the pack, which isn't too bad. And let's flip this over to defensive stats. So how were we defensively? And we were the fourth worst scoring team, and defensively we were the third worst team. So on an average night, we lost games 107 to 99. Wow. Field goal percentage. Yep, defensively fourth worst when it came to field goal percentage, which I know is not really the metric that people look at. We would typically look at effective field goal percentage, weighting threes and free throws a little bit differently. But basic terms, we were pretty poor on defense. And, well, it looks like we guarded the three-point line decently well. But, what does that mean? That means that the teams were getting to the rim at will against us and shooting lights out from 2 points, so 2-point range. And then free throw attempts, I want to see how many times, and there it is, fifth worst in the league, giving up 22.8 free throws per game. So clearly there's room for growth everywhere. What do we have under miscellaneous stats? Let's take a look. Not really big on the assists, so let's check out rebounds. Oh, they're better off filtering. Yep, so one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. And we give up the second most opponent rebounds. So, again, there's another stat that we are very bad at. And let's look at turnovers. Team turnovers. Okay, so not too bad. We, again, middle of the pack, which is probably should be considered a win for us. Middle of the pack in terms of how many turnovers we commit as a team, but how many turnovers do our opponents? And again, pretty middle of the pack as well. So nothing to be too excited about. I'd like to see what our tempo is like. So we do play, it looks like one of the faster paces in the league, but one of the worst offensive efficiencies. I believe this should be a effective field goal. Yep, effective field goal percentage. There it is. So offensively, our effective field goal percentage is dead last in the league. And our defensive effective field goal percentage is less than middle of the league. So nothing great. Everything looks bad. This team is just bad. What else do I want to check out before we go? Oh, before we head into the off season, obviously we have the draft, but we do have free agency. I do want to take a look at our contracts. Um, Covington will be expiring this year, so we can kiss that 13 million goodbye. Olynyk is stuck around for 2 more years at massive salary. Cade Cunningham making good money. I do want to make sure I pick up his rookie options, so I will pick up that third year, and then I will also pick up his fourth year. You are not going anywhere anytime soon. Killian Hayes, I'm going to pick up his third year option because I kind of like what I saw from him. And oh no, that was his. Excuse me, that was his fourth year option. So I'll keep him around. I mean, cheap money for a point guard. We're not going to be huge. I personally don't like building through free agency. I like to be a little bit more organic through the draft, so we'll see how that goes. Josh Jackson at $5 million. Probably not a player I'm looking to bring back because I do want to open up time for Anthony Simons. I could offer him an extension, but to keep it realistic, I'm going to allow him to hit free agency. We will hit him with the qualifying offer, making him restricted so we can match any offer he gets. Isaiah Stewart, I do want to give him his rookie option as well. So now we have him locked up through his 4-year rookie deal. Frank Jackson probably will not be coming back on that team option. Sadiq Bey, again, like Stewart, I'll give him that 4th-year option. I want to keep him around as well. Lyles will be gone. Isaiah Roby, we will be keeping. It's a young player I traded for on a cheap 1.9 team option. He will be coming back. The rest of the guys are here. And I'll probably keep Luka Garza on 1.5 mil team option to be our backup center. So I just wanted to make sure I got some of those options in. And before we get to the lottery, let's check out what the draft class looks like. So this engine does create a handful of what they call the NBGL select players. So this is kind of a quasi form of the select team that we see in the G League in real life. But rather than having one singular team that has like these kind of semi-pro prospects, what this engine does is they'll sprinkle them around onto different teams. So as you can see, these 4 G League select players are on different teams for the G League. So Maine, Grand Rapids, the Raptors, and Wisconsin. I know it lists them as colleges, which kind of confused me with Maine and Wisconsin here, but those are their G League teams. They have full stats, so we can take a look at them if we wanted to. So let's say Josh Bell looks like he was the best scorer of the G League select teams. I can head over to the Grand Rapids and check him out and see what he looks like. We should have a rough scouting picture for him. So Josh Bell, you see this little select league icon. So here he is, 6'10", 18 years old. He's currently rating as a 2-star potential. Now I don't know how much that would change when we head into the draft process. I don't think it changes very much at all. So you can see what his current ratings look like. Obviously a skilled inside shooter, but not really bringing much else to the table. So being the best scorer of those G League players doesn't really mean much if he's not going to be more than just a basically minor league scoring prospect. So let's head back over to the scout of the draft. And let's take a look at one more of our G League select players. Lance Flick of the Raptors. So that must be Toronto. But they just go by Raptors. Perfect. So Lance Flick, let's take a look at what this kid looks like. So he's a shooting guard. Shows a little bit more potential than the last kid. More of a shooter, but a better scorer all around. Outside of that, I'm not sure how much else he brings to the table. So this could just be a poor crop of G League select players this year. Now, at times you will see they generate like a 4 or 5-star potential player. So that means that's a kid that's going to be towards the top of the draft. If you look at the draft rankings, so right now they have The 6'8" freshman Clint Johnson out of Baylor, ranked as the top prospect of this draft, averaging a whopping 33.6 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block. Looks to be the total package just by numbers alone. But then you even look at a kid like this. He's rated third, Virgil Williams, a shooting guard, 6'3", out of Northwestern State. But he's averaging 23 points, 10 boards, almost 11 boards, 7.5 assists with 3 steals, 1.8 blocks. So, again, these are college stats, so they can be skewed, and we really need to scout them. And I'm glad that we spent a lot of points here on our stateside prospects, because there are quite a few of them. As you can see, there is an international player ranked at 12, Jared Berkovich. So we're not going to have much scouting on him. But for the most part, we should get a good view of what these kids look like. But looking at pure numbers and positions, it looks like there's a bunch of big men at the top, a couple wings that might satisfy our need a little bit. And what's nice is that our superstar is Cade Cunningham. He is technically a point guard, but with his size, we really could play him at the point, at shooting guard, at small forward. So we can be a little creative with who we take in the draft and still build around Cade Cunningham. So that is a nice luxury to have. So we could grab a power forward. We could grab another shooter on the wing. If a point guard falls to us, maybe we take a point guard and play Cade off the ball a little bit with him. So who knows? But what it really comes down to is, where are we going to fall? Where do we fall in this draft lottery? So here we are. We are the third team, but the top 3 teams all have the same odds at 14%. So who else is in this lottery with us? Anybody repeat in here? It looks like everybody here gets 1 pick and 1 pick only. So we will see what's going on. So let's just go pick by pick, see where we land. So who is going to hit that 14th pick? No shock, it's Atlanta. They had a 0.5% chance of winning a lottery spot. At 13, we will have Portland. As a Pistons fan, right now we don't want to see any surprises for quite some time. So let's see who comes in at 12. Phoenix stays in their 12th spot. And now we have the Kings at 11, which means at 2% chance the Wizards have now jumped into the top 4 picks. So that means Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Detroit, and Cleveland are probably sweating right now, thinking that they just got bumped out of the top 4. The Raptors, we gotta hope, show up next, which is the Knicks. So that was being portrayed to the Knicks, so that's something that's a good sign for us. Let's see who comes in at 9. Charlotte, followed by Houston and Minnesota. Okay, so after one surprise with the Wizards, we have 4 picks falling into place. Let's see who comes in with the 6th pick of the 2022 NBA draft. Oh, God, the Detroit Pistons. So we had the 3rd worst record and tied for the best odds to win the lottery. And we drop to the 6th spot. Can you believe it? Oh, that actually really, really hurt. So who is at the 5th spot? We have the Thunder. Worst team in the league gets the 5th spot. So here's your anti-tanking rules, guys. The worst team and the 3rd worst team getting the 5th and 6th picks. The Cleveland Cavaliers are at 4. So now, the Spurs, who were the 2nd worst team in the league, are still holding firm. We'll have a top 3 pick. The Wizards, who looked like they were just outside they were a play-in team, have the potential chance of winning the lottery. And then the Magic, who are, perennial, lottery participants, are looking for yet another high pick here. So who's going to get the 3rd pick? The San Antonio Spurs. Wow. So the top pick either goes to Orlando or Washington. Wow, Orlando takes the second pick, which means the Wizards, a play-in tournament team, had a 2% chance, and they pull off the impossible, or the improbable, we should say, and win the 2022 NBA lottery. I cannot believe that we are sitting at the 6th spot right now. We're going to have to make some magic happen there, so let's see. Let's head back over to the Detroit dashboard and see what they have to say to us. Well, we're going to check out some award winners this year. I'm sure we have one. So let's present the awards, and I'm gonna shut the volume off only because I think that last draft lottery video was a bit loud coming through to you guys. So let's check out the awards. So we're gonna take a look at the NBA individual awards. MVP goes to Giannis, of course, back-to-back NBA titles, yet another MVP trophy. Rudy Gobert, they might as well rename this the Defensive Player of the Year award to his name. James Harden, 6th Man of the Year. Interesting strategy to bring him off the bench. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Rookie of the Year goes to Evan Mobley. How is our boy Cade Cunningham going to win Rookie of the Month year after every single month? Yet the game thinks Evan Mobley takes home Rookie of the Year. That is incredible. Incredible. That defender badge is attractive though. Wow. That hurts. You know, maybe the voters took in winning when it came to selecting this award, but that is a shock, and I hope that Cade Cunningham plays with a chip on his shoulder knowing that he was slighted in the Rookie of the Year voting. Coach of the Year goes to Mike Budenholzer, again, two-time NBA champion, and now he's a Coach of the Year. League champion goes to the Milwaukee Bucks, so they are 2020 and now 2021 champs, and Giannis wins the series MVP. First team, Luka Doncic, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, and Nikola Jokic. Second team heads to Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown. Second team, no Jason Tatum here. That's interesting. Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid. That's an all-Eastern Conference second team. Now that I mentioned that. Okay, so the West got 3 players in the first team, but all second team players from the Eastern Conference. That's very interesting. Third team, Ja Morant, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Julius Randle, and Jonas Valanciunas. Defensive first team, we certainly will have nobody here. Simmons, Van Vliet, Butler, Davis, Gobert. And the second team, Drew Holiday, Matisse Thybulle, Kawhi, Draymond, Miles Turner. Interesting. Rookie first team, there's our boy, Cade Cunningham. I mean, look at the numbers. I mean, they're not that crazy. Not much difference. And you're a rookie. You're carrying a bad team. Why do we not get the love of winning Rookie of the Year? Everyone hates on Detroit. But Cade Cunningham, first team all-rookie with Jalen Green, Scotty Barnes, Franz Wagner, and Evan Mobley. Second team, Josh Giddey, Chris Duarte, Trey Murphy, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, and Alperen Sengun. Trey Murphy winning second team, and he barely did anything. His rating's actually pretty decent, so. Wow. I am still bitter about Rookie of the Year. Not as bitter as winning the 6th pick in the draft, but this one hurts as well. All right, let's continue on. So now we have to go from making a draft board of maybe 3 or 4 deep to see what we like to now we have to scout, a top 6, 7, 8, 10, because the draft odds just did not fall in our favor. So let's check out this alert. If you are employed as the general manager, ownership is waiting to speak to you. Oh boy. Well, let's see what happens here. Let's have a quick chat. Tell me, how do you rate your performance? Okay, but I could have done better. You met or exceeded the goals we talked about. Would you like to come back? Yes, I would. Discuss next season with you in a couple days. All right. I was a little nervous, actually. I thought maybe we could have potentially been fired there. But we did what we needed to do. They actually wanted me to keep um, Jeremy Grant, but we traded him away, so I was a little nervous about that move. And let's go to the office, see what our they're okay with rebuilding, so they have no problem with that. Great. And they want us to keep Cade Cunningham. We just locked him up for the next 3 seasons on his rookie deal, so I'm good with that. So we'll advance past that portion of the season. What do we have now? Final day of the game year. Because you are playing in challenge mode, the fate of your employment lies with your ownership. If you are employed still, congratulations. Great. We are still employed, so we will advance. We have another meeting. I'm sure this is going to talk about the following season. Waiting to speak to you. Today is the only day you can expand the league this season. Okay, we could talk about expansion in the future. I think right now we're going to keep it standard. Let's go into this meeting. How is the team going to fare this season? I am not going to make any promises. It's going to be a rebuild, my friend. This better be a very quick rebuild. What's your plan for payroll? I'll say right about the cap. Give me a little flexibility. I have no clue what our cap situation looks like, but, give myself a little... Oh, wow. Look at this. Cap status, $25 million available. We do have to pay, because as you can see, we're missing a couple players here. Wait a minute. Did I just lose Anthony Simons? Oh no. See, I did not realize the qualifying offer here. So we may have lost out on potentially restricting Anthony Simons from going elsewhere. Oh no. Well, there you go. There's a first-time GM. So we're going to have to... Looks like we're going to have to try to sign him outright. Thankfully, we do have $25 million to play with. That one hurts. But, all right, well... Can I make decisions on these people right now? No. Wow. All right. Well, there's that. So no options here for contracts other than extensions for our rookies or players on a rookie deal. So, man, okay, we got to bring back Anthony Simons on our own. What are we at right now? Coaching staff vacancies. To proceed to make offers, click the advance button. All right, let's take a look at our staff. We are good here, so I'm going to keep the status quo for now. Advance the entire period. Man. So let's recap. We go into the lottery expecting a top 3 pick. We land at number 6. Then, in the league awards, our main man, Cade Cunningham, who won Rookie of the Month every single month this season, does not win Rookie of the Year. And to add on to that, we completely forget to give Anthony Simons the qualifying offer. And he is now an unrestricted free agent. So we might lose him for nothing. What a bonehead mistake that is. So where are we? We're at the rookie combine right now. So before we get deep into the weeds with the draft, the combine, free agency, we're going to cut it short here. I have too much heartbreak for one episode. Thank you for joining along with me. Hopefully, we see a little bit better news the next time we come back.